तो प्रभु जी देखिए
श्रेयस प्रभु Umang Mataji, just help them out. Just take them to the other.
Okay. Before we start, will recall we pray to all the souls, ancestors, predecessors, acharyas, and Lord Shri Krishna. So please repeat these prayers with me. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuromilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshchaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Aschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, I want one mic devotee. You are there, so you have to be very, very fast because I am going to ask so many questions today. Are you ready? है ना? वो प्राइस तो नहीं मिलने वाला है. Yeah, but there will be so many questions, and today's session will be lots of thought provoking. बहुत सारे विचार, बहुत सारा चीज़ें आपको सोचने को बोलेगा. And I am going to know something more about more from you all also. ठीक है? So be ready to answer. Whenever I am asking question, quickly raise your hands, and Prabhuji will run to you to get the mic. You will run, right? You will run, na? Okay, ठीक है. Otherwise we can have one more devotee You also have that. Okay, Mataji will be running. So for Mataji's, Prabhuji will run for the Prabhuji's. Okay? Okay, fine. So let us start. The timeless teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and today's session we are dedicating to His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who with his purity and authenticity of the Vedic Shastras, he guided the whole world. He played the role of a Jagat Guru, and all over the world he made disciples. He saved lives of so many. So that's why his name is A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. He got awarded with the title of Bhakti Vedanta because of his erudicity in the Vedic knowledge. Yeah. Okay. So today's topic is reviving eternal faith. Okay. We have came across, we know about faith. What is faith? हिंदी में बोलते हैं विश्वास, है ना? Something we just take it in the heart to believe. Faith, is it? And our eternal faith, original faith. Of course, we talk about our faith was Hindu, somebody's faith, Christian, Islamity, all this Islamism, all this. Our eternal faith is, that what was there, the culture of our society, our Indian culture, which was lost. It was lost due to so many reasons. We lost the faith in our own scriptures, we lost faith in our own teachings, we lost our faith in our own science, which was timeless. There are so many reasons behind it. I have another session, generally I take it for that, our lost treasure. Okay. In that we discuss about what were the reasons of that we are losing our culture. I'll just summarize. There were so many external invasions. Because of that, we lost our treasure, our eternal faith. There were external invasion, our eternal causes also. To some people were manipulated and all these things. And another thing is most important, the media. And the propaganda in the media, which causes our society to go in wrong direction. Wrong principles are set up as our ideals. Yesterday, Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday, one lady came, young girl, just newly married, 1 year maximum, and she was telling, Prabhuji, my husband is working in Bangalore, earning lakhs in a month, but what to do? Every day, every week, he will work hard, and at the end of the week, he will just spill his money like anything, like the boozing and the partying and so many things. And whenever I ask him not to do this, he is getting angry. And I asked whether he is doing any spiritual activities. No, Prabhuji, not doing it all. Because these are the people in the society today. They are thinking that this life is the permanent life. This is the life they have to live. The westernized culture. There's no thought of the future of their own. There's no thought of what's right, what's wrong. Just running behind the pleasure, running behind the happy life, kind of. So because of that, they are losing their future also, they are losing their present also. So even if you start telling something right to them, they don't accept, because the value system that they have accepted, that is itself is wrong, basically. And we start to convince them which is right, and come for satsanga, have some good life, respect elders, and respect each other, respect your wife even, and all these things they don't understand. So because of that, it's very difficult to explain these things for them. So setting our value system in the right place is very, very important. Okay. So that is a story, and yes, of course, we are going to learn in the today's lecture. We are going to understand how to put it into right place. Okay, so we'll do some. Thank you, Guruji. We'll do some revision from the last week. Last week, what we discussed? What is the topic of last week? Anybody remembers? Yes, Guruji. Karma. Okay. Who was present last week? Almost everybody. Who's first time here? Okay, good. Welcome. So for you, we are having a revision today. Okay. What we saw in the karma? What are different types of karmas? Question. Different types of karma. There are how many types of karma are there? Teachers will not answer the questions. Okay. How many types of karma? As Prabhuji said, 3 types. Can somebody name them? 3 types of karma. Okay, at least you can name 2. Fine.
Karma, vikarma,
ये होता है पुराने डिवोटीज जब पहली क्लास में आके बैठते हैं ना. ओके गुड प्रभुजी. अकर्मा, विकर्मा एंड sakarma. You can call it sakarma or simply punya karmas. Okay. In broad way, we can call it as a papa, punya, and akarma. Like activity done for the sake of the God, or maybe activities done as per Bhagavad Gita. Those all called as a akarma, which is purifying you. Okay. Okay. We'll talk about 2 things, papa and punya. Why we need to segregate these 2 things into papa and punya, and what basis we do this? What decides something is papa, something is punya? What is the deciding factor? Simply I like it because something I consider right. Generally I used to have argument with my uncle actually generally, and whenever I go home na, and he understand, hey ye ISKCON mein hai, so he will just make me sit and just argue. What used to happen? He used to tell me, "Arey, kya?" He used to tell me, we used to talk about the knowledge and all these things. Arey, knowledge you should gain by your own. And whatever you understand, whatever your logic is, whatever you evaluate, whatever you can deduce or whatever you can understand, that is a logic. We have to work with the logic. He was logic man. So whatever is logic, whatever logical you should do. So is it Papa Punya is like that? Whatever is logically right, it is right. Is it like that? Can we consider it like that? Is it right? No. Or yes? Why not? This is practically saying, this is beneficial for me, so I should do it or not. Logically right. Admission kahan pe lena hai? Logically we can understand which mobile to purchase. Logically we can reduce it, right? So where to invest? Logically we can do. What's right? That also we can deduce logically. What is best for my family? I can deduce it. Okay, then right and wrong, how we can deduce? From the logic? Yes or no? Okay. What's wrong into that? Wrong is that if you consider something right for you, you are Ukraine. Simple example, you are Ukraine. You think something right for you, and you are Russia. You think something right for you, as per your constitution and as per your constitution. But what's happening? You both are contrasting. And what's happening now? Whole world is on the bank of on the verge of Third World War. Why? Because they are thinking their value system is right. Then what is the solution there? How to find a solution? Okay, we'll think about it now. Okay. So we'll go ahead. So keep this question parked, but keep meditating on this. Okay. How to acquire knowledge? Okay. कैसे हम knowledge gain करते हैं? There are any, okay, these are the different words. Maybe you not understand this. I'll explain it. But question is this: how do we acquire knowledge? What are the different sources through which we acquire knowledge? You can raise your hand and answer. Yes, Mataji is saying something. Wait. Yeah, one minute.
By reading
By reading books.
By reading books and From Guru by hearing.
Second is from Guru. Third is from hearing from Guru. Okay. Second
By
is
textbook.
by
By textbook.
okay, textbooks. Okay,
By
good.
Google.
Very important, huh? Whenever we don't understand anything, let us just Google it. What is Pratyaksha Praman? Okay, Google it. We'll find it. Okay,
The
yes.
third one is by seeing.
By seeing, yes.
Experience.
By?
Experience.
Nice. Experience is the biggest guru, na? Experience is the ultimate guru. Teaches us with examples. Good. Okay. Anything? How we gain knowledge? By seeing, by reading books, by experience, by Google. And how we gain knowledge? By from the guru also. Yes. Behind one Prabhuji is answering.
By confronting with intellectuals.
Yeah, discussing with intellectuals. Yeah, the experience sharing, we can say. We share the experience. Good. Thank you, Prabhuji. Who's telling that environment thing? Please raise your hand, Chamataji. Okay, environment. Yes. Transformations? Association. Yes, that's what you said. Experience sharing. Yes. Another way to gain knowledge? Senses. Through senses. Okay, we can put it into the experience thing. Direct senses are used to gain experience, right? So, into that category we can keep. Okay, yes, Prabhu?
Probably from own mistakes.
Yeah, experience again. You just do mistakes and learn from them and decide not to repeat again. Very nice. Yes, Prabhuji saying something?
Learning from your mistakes, again, it is a costly affair. But better to learn from others' mistakes also.
या मतलब मराठी में कहते हैं पुढच्याला ठेच मागचा शहाणा है ना. अगला वाला मिस्टेक करता है, पीछे वाला समझ जाता है क्या करना है. So it's good. So that is very nice. So we can learn from others' experience and others' mistakes also. Good, very nice. Okay. So all these ways of knowledge, books, Google, experience. So Prabhuji is raising his hand. Achha. Okay. So books, Google. Yeah, Prabhuji.
My self-inquiry. Self-inquiry.
Self-inquiry.
Yeah.
Whom will you ask?
Self, like the way.
Contemplation. And our own logic. That's good. Very nice answer. So just by based, now it is one of the valid way of gaining knowledge actually. By thinking, by putting logic, why this is happening like this. Okay, why this fan is rotating, and is electricity is there. All these things going on. Why this is happening in the world? So logics is one of the important method to gain knowledge. Okay, we are categorizing these into three sections. First is Pratyaksha, and second is Anuman, and third is Shabda. Pratyaksha talks about Prati Aksha. Pratyaksha stands for Prati Aksha. Matlab, you say in Hindi, right? Please switch off the mics. Okay. Prati Aksha means which is right in front of your eyes. Things are right in front of your eyes. You accept them as true. हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, आंखों देखा सच और कानों सुना झूठ. Actually this is उल्टा actually ठीक है, देखेंगे. What's right we'll see. So what is this is just for the eyes are the senses. ठीक है, we have 5 senses, right? So eyes are the one of them. So eyes are representative to all 5 senses. So this says the knowledge that we get from direct perception of anything. Now we see, I understand what is the color of this. I touch it, I understand what is the temperature of it and what is the texture of it. I smell it and understand, get the knowledge, right? And what are the different ways are there? By hearing it, again. So by my senses, by all my senses I use to understand about this object. Okay? This is the way called Pratyaksha, which is in front of our senses. So it is said that seeing is believing. This is a modern way of understanding the logic, understanding the things. Now seeing is believing. What is in front of you, accept it as a truth or accept it as it is. So Most of the scientists works for like this. Now, to understand something, to deduce it, work out that thing. Understand, analyze, and analysis, understanding by analyzing something. Like we had the analysis of this mouse. Analysis of this through all the sensory understandings or scientific ways to understand all these things. This is seeing is believing through direct senses. What is in front of us, we accept it. But this has one drawback. Not one drawback. This has 4 drawbacks. The 4 drawbacks are like this. Because it's not drawback because of this method is wrong. It's drawback because we are humans. Humans have 4 kinds of deficiencies, and because of that, this method fails most of the times. First is karana apatva, and is imperfect senses. Second is pramad, getting illusioned. Brahma, we do commit mistakes. And then is vipralipsa, cheating propensity. Okay, you can note this down. At least you can understand the meaning of it. Imperfect senses, getting illusion, committing mistakes, and cheating propensities. We'll just know what is this. Imperfect senses, karana apatva, karnapatva, karnapatva. So this means senses, karana means senses, and patva means imperfect. See, karana, sometimes we can call it karana as the ears also. They are not perfect, is it? Our ears are perfect. We have senses. Can we say my all senses are perfect? No. We have specs. So many of us have specs. We can't say that okay, whatever I am seeing is correct only. And eyes have limitations. We cannot see beyond this wall. Just until unless you are Superman, you cannot see beyond this wall. And of course, Superman has the super senses also. He can hear from anywhere else. But yes, our eyes have defect. Eyes have limitations. We cannot see beyond this 4 or whatever is in front of us. We cannot see certain range of lights. Our eyes are senses. Eyes senses some light ranges. That is some visible range of ultraviolet rays. Sorry, visual range of what is called electromagnetic waves. We can see this, but ultraviolet rays we cannot see. Infrared rays we cannot see. X-rays we cannot see. So many spectrum of electromagnetic waves are there, we are not able to see. So eyes have some limitations. We cannot see those. X-rays can see, but all this. Our ears also have some defect. Ears, we cannot hear everything. But dogs can hear more than what we hear. Dogs have very, very strong sense of hearing. Even dolphins, you saw dolphins or whales, particularly whale, they use sonar system. We have sonar system into our submarines, but they have sonar system given by nature themselves. So they navigate through sound. They just transmit the sound and understand it, and understand the obstacles in front of them, and they can communicate with the distant whales through this sound system. So whales are much advanced than us, but our ears are not. Okay? Our eyes they get illusion. They get mistake. They fall into mistake many times. Our tongue is not so perfect. We have seen it. Whatever our tongue says, it is not right all the time. So sometimes my mother makes 2 sweets. One sweet will be very, very sweet and another will be very mild sweet. And she will tell her, hey, eat this first. But I will do ulta. I will eat other first. And she is very, very sweet. And after eating that another, I will say, arey, it's sugary nahi hai. Why you are calling it sweet? Why it is happening? Because you are taking some higher sweet before, so my tongue is habitual to that sweet, and another sweet I am taking, I am not feeling that sweetness at all. You would have seen. Have you had what is called that amla? After eating amla, if you drink normal water, you will feel sweet. But is water sweet? No, but still you are feeling water sweet. That means your tongue is cheating you. Your eyes are cheating you. Many times we see something else and we feel something else. We see a rope and we think that, this is snake. And then we touch, this is a rope only, man. Our eyes also cheat us, isn't it? Until there is a light, we don't perceive that something is there around. Our eyes are dependent on this light system. If it is completely dark here, we will not see anybody who is coming inside and going out. Dark. Our eyes are dumb when there is no light. Our ears are the same thing. What about the skin, touch sensation? That also cheats us, The same water at same temperature in winter will feel cold. And same water, same temperature in the summer, we feel it hot. Feel that, right? Or maybe sometimes in the schools you have experiments, right? You put hand in the hot water and put it in normal water, you will feel it cold. In cold water, what does it mean? Our senses are not giving right input to us. And then which sense is remaining now? Nose is done, eyes are done, ears are done, tongue is done, skin also done, all five done. So that means whatever our senses gives, whatever information we are getting through our senses may not be perfect. It should be. There is a 100% chance that it will be wrong somehow or other. Okay? Yeah. That means Pratyaksha Praman, what these things is wrong, cannot be perfect. Then our problem is we get illusion. When we have imperfect senses, we get illusion because of that. Eye is telling something else. Look at this. Do you see this picture moving? Just move your eyes here and there. You will see this moving. Look at this. You'll feel that this is a kind of it's going, rotating. It's all because this is not a video actually. This is static image. But still we feel it because our eyes are cheating us. We have seen this. You see these flowers are rotating? If you remove your eyes and these arrows, our senses cheat us. Our senses are not perfect. Because of that, what will happen? We do mistakes. Our senses cheat us. Whatever. Have you tried making a perfect circle? No. Our senses are imperfect. Whatever output is coming from you can make perfect circle.
Plus, we are seeing the world through our perception.
Perception
is wrong. Then the entire, even the senses, it differs from person to person because of the difference in perception.
Yeah.
Difference in the value of the belief system.
True. So everybody sees in different way.
Yeah.
And everybody
so
is.
What is good for one may not be good for the other.
True. Perfect, Maharaj. This is right. And that's what I want to say. This is, we cannot rely on the senses for gaining knowledge at all. And because of that, we do mistakes. We do mistakes. We do so many. There are so many blunders by scientists. We have seen it. Scientists used to think our brain as a cooling system. They used to say, because brain has so many small veins there, right? So they used to think that blood goes to the brain, it cools down and again rotates the body. Like, engine has that, coolant and all these things. They used to think like that. But then they understood that brain is not cooling. This is the most important vital organ in the body. They used to think pituitary gland as a vestigial organ. Vestigial organs, what is vestigial organ?
Waste organ.
Waste organ. Just our small intestine is a waste, people say. Small intestine, even if it is removed, doesn't have any problem. So like that, they think that our pituitary glands also are the vestigial organ. But later on, with the experiment, they understood this is the most important gland in the body, pituitary glands. Like that, there are so many blunders they have done. And what happens because of that? When they commit mistakes, there even scientists and all the people have done so many costly mistakes, and because of that they do cheating. You know, my senses are not right, and I do mistakes with that, and when to hide those mistakes, I do cheating. And what they do, biggest cheating in mankind's history is, what is this?
Evaluation.
Darwin's theory. Have you read Darwin's theory in your college, school textbooks? है ना? But after growing up, when you grown up now, have you tried to verify it? Like doing Google to it and just trying to understand. है ना? This Darwin theory, what they say, okay, survival of the fittest, they say, right? No, there was a story in our book, in our school books. In generally in your school books also you will be there. Okay, how giraffe got evolved, evolution they say. How giraffe got evolved? Anybody? What we learned in school days? There were small bakri kind of animals there in Africa. They were grazing on the grass, and suddenly there were so many bakris, and grass got over, and they had to eat, and their neck got long, and this is what was taught to the kids when we were kids, and we believed it. Now, do you think it is logical? Bakri. Now today also there is no chance that whole Africa ka grass khatam ho gaya. Today also grass is there in Africa. Okay? Today also there are bakris in Africa. That's not like that. Ki bakris are all vanished and only giraffes are there. No, not like that. Bakri means goats. So like that, goats are also happily surviving in Africa. Giraffes are also happily surviving in Africa. And what is the chance then? Only few bakris got evolved and few remained like that. And what is the need for others to grow? Logically, we cannot accept that, right? When we grown up, we cannot accept that all these things. But बच्चे थे ना, बच्चों को कोई भी उल्लू बना सकता है. They did it. They cheated us. They spoke us about this Darwin's theory and all. People, even if logically, if you see an evidence of archaeology, they don't support Darwin's theory. Even 50% of the scientific community don't accept Darwin's theory. And even Darwin himself has said, what is his book called? His book was the Evolution of Species something. And he writes in the book, whatever I have read, it was written for your information 250 years back. Some theory is proposed sometimes, like how science works, Some scientists will propose a theory, and other scientists will work hard to prove that theory into reality, and then theory becomes theorem, or maybe theory becomes the law. Like that. 250 years, Darwin's theory is still at the level of theory. Nobody has given a strong evidence to make it as a law of Darwin. Nobody calls law of Darwin. It's all in the law, what is called a speculative. Darwin himself says, whatever I have written in this book is a speculation. What happened? Darwin was a theist person actually before. Darwin, and at one point of time, his very favorite son, he died because of some disease. And he started thinking, if I'm getting this suffering of I'm losing my child, and then what is the effect, what is the role of God into this? He was theist before, and now he says why this is happening, and why this is. I will prove that there is no God in the world at all, and for that purpose, how this world evolved and how this came about, everything. There is no role of God into that. To prove that, he wrote this theory. People used to think from the Bible, yes, God created humans and all these things, all these stories are there. But he said, no. It's not like that. The humans came just because of the evolution. There is no role of God. To remove the role of God from people's mind, he wrote this story. That's all. And today also, atheistic people are struggling hard to prove it. And there are so many archaeological evidences they have put forward, which were eventually found out they were manufactured evidences, like Neanderthal man and all these things. Now they don't approve this. This is these are all forged thing. There's a nice this one. So now what's happening? Because of all these things, senses are imperfect, and we get illusion and we cheat, and because of that, pratyaksha praman is not acceptable. Then, if it is seeing is not believing, then what? What is the source for us? We can combine this thing. Our logic also we can put, and senses. Okay? As Prabhuji was telling, we can gain knowledge through logics. Whatever we are seeing through the nature, we just think behind it, and why this grass is growing, why this rain is happening. We just with the logic we can deduce the right working behind whole nature. So if is seeing is not believing, then we can think on Anuman Praman. Anuman Praman is logic. Okay? Logic. And how logic is not correct? What is the limitation for logic? It's a story for this. Now there was a village. In the village there was a friends group, and the friends group name was All Blind Friends Group. You understand? Now that means everybody was blind. Of course, and in the village, of course, they were staying happily there and all. One day in the village, there comes a circus. And in the circus, after long time, the circus has come into the village, and everybody goes to see that. And everybody was telling, in the circus there's an elephant, and these people have not seen elephant at all in their lifetime at all. What they will do? We'll go and see the elephant. And everybody says, you're blind man. What you will do and go and the elephant? No. We have hands. We'll touch and see the elephant. They say, okay, go. The all blind group, they go there and see the elephant. And come back. And they start discussing. Beta, why? Macha, how was the elephant? It's good, na? And they start talking. No, elephant. Okay, I understand. One man saying, elephant is I think it's like a big wall. Because he was touching the belly of that elephant. And his wall is strong. So it's a elephant is like what? What you are telling? You're a fool. Elephant is not like a wall. He's like a rope. Strong, hard. Because he was touching his tail. This is long rope. And he started arguing, you're wrong. I am only right. He's like a rope. Another was saying, no, he's like a snake. Somebody was saying, no, he's like an arrow. Somebody was saying, no, he's like, that kind of a soup. That axe kind of thing, yeah. And everybody was arguing and fighting. And one person with eyes, he was going by there, and he laughed at them. What are you doing? You are fighting for these small things. Actually, whatever you have seen is a portion of the elephant. And he says, you just combine all of your experiences there, and you can understand whole elephant. So Anuman Praman is based on that. So when we talk about logic, think and deduce the reality of the world, that means we have to base on our own intelligence. And our own intelligence, everybody's intelligence is same or not? Is everybody same intelligent? No. Everybody has different kinds of intelligence. Everybody can put their logic in different ways. So everybody cannot come to the same conclusion with their own intelligence. So in this I understand, the Anuman Praman is lame, is highly dependent on everybody, each and everyone's capacity. His capacity is this much, he will understand this much only. If somebody is completely kind of high class intelligent, like IQ of Einstein, he will understand everything properly. Well, at least some portion of it. But otherwise, some person is dumb, he will not understand, he will not come to the ultimate truth. So understanding absolute truth or understanding the reality of life, Anuman Praman is not sufficient. And then comes to handy is Shabda Praman, gaining each other's experiences. So when these people were talking to each other, this all blind group, and they were sharing the experience and they're collaborating everything, their understanding and perception of reality was evolving. But was that perfect? No. What was the perfect then? How they will understand how the elephant is.
If someone who has seen describes to them.
Perfect. You know, somebody who has actually seen the elephant, he can tell exactly how the elephant is. Then Shabda Praman highly depends on the authenticity of the source of knowledge. Shabda Praman means gaining knowledge from the authentic source. This is Shabda Praman. You know, of course, everybody has not done all the experiments that Newton has done. Have you done the experiments that Newton has done? No, but still you understand, you accept the Newton's laws, and whatever throws up comes down, law of gravity, and law of thermodynamics, and law of all these things. You have not devised those, but you have learned it. Where you have learned? Any textbook. And where it's come from? How did it come into textbook? Somebody has written it.
By experiments. Someone has
Who's that?
a scientist.
Who is that scientist?
Einstein.
Newton. Because Newton has experimented, understood. He's a first authority of Newton's law. What is he doing? He's writing it down and he's teaching it to his students. And what these students are doing? They are also understanding it and teaching to their students. And they are going, like this change is going on. And that's how it has come to us through our teachers. Right? Our teachers are teaching it. So this is called as a Shabda Praman, which is coming through an authentic source. So the same way, whatever knowledge we are getting in this world, like Vedas, Vedic scriptures, is like that somebody has experienced it, and that we are getting through the parampara, the authentic source of it. So how we can understand validity of Vedic proofs? First is axiomatic truth. We can understand the Vedas are perfect, and the predictions and the manual. Okay, we understand this. Anybody has heard about axiomatic truth? What is axiomatic truth? Yeah, Prabhuji?
There are few assumptions based on that we conclude that because this is satisfied, this is also true.
It's like a universal truth that everyone has accepted.
Pakka. But can we verify with experiments?
Yeah, we can verify it.
Axiomatic truth we can verify? Can you give example of axiomatic truth? One example.
Example, like if you join 2 points, it is a form of line.
What is the size of point?
So it's a one-dimensional figure.
So there is no dimension for it, no size for it, right?
Yeah.
But when you you draw a point in the paper, it consumes some space, right?
Yes, a bit.
But theoretically, it doesn't have space. Doesn't have at all any dimensions, right? So point is an axiomatic axiom. We have understood that the point is an entity which doesn't have length, breadth, and width. Okay, this is axiom. And can you prove? No, because whenever you draw a point, it has something, right? It has accepted without proof. Truth which is accepted without proof are called axiomatic truth. Okay, and there are so many examples like that. Examples of value of imaginary number, what is called that? -1, root of -1.
Yeah, root over negative number, imaginary number.
There is no proof for that. Is it? Mathematics teacher? No proof, right? But we accepted it. And when we accept it, we can solve such a big problems that our rocket science also can work with. We cannot work without that. So this root of -1 solves so many problems. So just accepting something imaginary, we are solving big problems. These are called axiomatic truth. Value of 0 also is axiom only. Value of 0 is axiom. So like that, there are so many. Actually, whole science is based on such kind of assumption. Whole science. People say science means something which is proved, experimentally understood and all these things. The basis of all those experiments is some kind of assumption always. Some kind of assumptions which is not practically proven. And that's why every time scientific theories are keep on changing. Scientific theory about the atom kept on changing. People talk about atom is what? The atom is the smallest structure in the world is atom. Sometimes they tell you. Sometimes they will say, no, it's not atom. It's not atom. It's something nucleus, proton, neutron, all these things. And then they say electron, and there's something, and they're saying no. Original structure of the atom is not is a wave kind of thing. Do you understand? No confusion. It's a mass or a wave. It's still confusing. So, and through the time we could understand those proofs, those things which were considered to be which we consider to be wrong, we proved it right. Vedic scriptures talk about so many things. So Vedas, something people are talking about Vedas which is wrong. Now they are considering, this is right. So Vedic proofs like cow dung. People used to think that cow dung is the waste part of an animal. But now they are understanding cow dung and cow urine has antiseptic properties. And they are making so many medicines out of them. Isn't it? And just 50 years back, people were thinking, this is waste. And they think, this is, And people used to think that, brushing with coal. We had good experience about it. When I was a small child, that time in TV, when advertising used to come of Colgate, and they used to take some coal powder and brush. This is what kind of a call is it cheating. One thing they say, another thing is cheating. So, but Vedas, what they say is perfect. They have said already before, they never change. Science keeps on changing their words. Sometimes they say Pluto is a planet. Sometimes it's not a planet, it's something else. No, it's not a planet. There are only 9. Previously it said 9, now there are only 8 planets. This keeps on changing it like that. Science says about Earth is round. But we have already spoken. Earth is round. Vedas already spoken that Earth is spherical. In our childhood, I am from Marathi medium. In our Marathi medium, geography used to call as a Bhugol. And the Bhugol used to, the same book, it used to say, people used to think that Earth is a flat, now they are thinking, the scientists have proved that Earth is a round. Beta, how this Bhugol word came from? This Bhugol word is there in Vedas. Now you are telling Bhu is a goal. We already know Bhu is a goal. Now you are thinking and you are telling we are only wrong. What they will do, first they will prove that you are wrong. And your statement only they will say, this is right, you are a fool again. You are becoming twice fool. So Bhugol was already mentioned in the Vedas. Earth is round. Vedas are already perfect. Vedas already said plants has soul. Just 100 years back, this scientists used to think that plants are not living entity at all. Later they understood yes, plants are living. They have response. Indian scientist, what is his name, who proved plants has life? Jagdish Chandra Bose. He proved, and all world accepted, yes, plants has life. And they divided into a plant kingdom and all these things. Vedas mention the development of embryo. People say Vedas were written almost 5,000 years back, something like that. Okay. And that time sonography, whenever everything was there. It was not there. And how they understood how embryo develops, but every small aspect of development of embryo is mentioned in the Vedas. The first week, what is the size of embryo? It's like a peanut size, and then it grows. First, which limb will grow, and at what state this embryo starts feeling pain. Initially, embryo is completely unconscious state, and in some state it will start feeling pain, start feeling hunger. It says, Vedas tells at what time the baby in the womb starts feeling hunger. This kind of technology is not yet developed to predict when the baby start feeling hunger. in mother's womb. Do you believe that baby is feeling hunger in mother's womb? It feels hunger. Almost some days before of the delivery, 15, 20 days or something like that, he starts feeling hunger there. So that is the period there. This kind of detailed explanation is there of development of embryo in Vedas. And this is there into Vishwan Bhagavatam also. Not just simply in Vedas. Vedas are apaurushaya. They are not written by humans. They are eternal truths. And if I say they are eternal truths, they prove right even in the future also. Not just in the present. In the future also they are proving right. And look, in the future what is going to happen, they predict themselves before. Now Vedas were written almost 5,000 years back, we say. They predicted that there's somebody called Lord Chaitanya will come in the earth and he will spread the bhakti message. And this was presented, this was mentioned in the in the Bhagavatam before Lord Chaitanya appeared. And it is mentioned there. Appearance of Lord Buddha, it is mentioned in the Vedas. In Vedas mentioned that where Lord Buddha will come and what all things he will be doing. Vedas mentioned it. Bhavishya Puran says this. Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned about Chanakya. And this is a last Brahmana on the earth, Chanakya. And his appearance. Chandragupta, King Ashoka's appearance is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Jesus Christ is mentioned in Bhavishya Puran, in Atharva Veda, and all these places. So all this prove that Vedas can see in future also. People talk about it is there? Yeah. People talk about how the world will end and what is the Kalki Avatar and all these things. It is also mentioned in the Vedas. Is it that? Yeah. What is going to happen in the Kali Yuga is mentioned here. This shloka what says? Vittam eva kalau nrinam. What can somebody read the translation of this? What will be the situation of the society in the world? Yeah.
In Kali Yuga, wealth alone will be considered the sign of a man's good birth, proper behavior and fine qualities. And law and justice will be applied only on the basis of one's power.
See, this is right situation of Kali Yuga. It was not like that before. Previous days, it was not. The person's character will be judged based on his qualities acquired. But now, कितना पैसा आपके पास है? Even somebody is wealthy, he says something wrong, it will be proved as a true. He is correct, and he can never say wrong. So wealth will consider man's. We'll find out. We'll prove that his birth and everywhere is right. Qualities are right. It is mentioned that law will never be sold. Food will never be sold. It was not sold before, but now Kali Yuga, it is a symptom of Kali Yuga. Food will be sold. Previously, food was not sold. It was given free. Water was not sold. Even if you ask your grandfather, and if you tell, did you imagine that water will be sold in future? He was, मूर्ख है क्या? पानी भी कोई बेचता है? And they will say water can be a business. Today, water is the biggest business. Simply selling water. Okay, another symptom of Kali Yuga. It is mentioned long back. It's happening now. Anybody else wants to read? Yep.
Men and women will live together mainly because of superficial attraction, and success in both business will depend on deceit. Womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in sex, and man will be known as Brahmampa just by his wearing a thread.
Yeah. So previously it was not like that. Now men and women, they have to be relationship, they have to get married and all this. But the Bhagavatam already explained. There will be a time in the world where people will start living living relationships, they talk about it right now. So that was predicted long back. This will be happening. They are just staying with each other just because of their attraction. That's all. People will get married just because that man is so nice, that girl is so beautiful. Just for that. They will not understand that what are the qualities. Previously match fixing was not happening like that. match fixing used to happen with a proper understanding of the gunas and the qualities of the boy and the girl, and based on that they will fix the marriage. Now, this boy looks good, okay, get married. And what happens? Love at first sight and divorce as first fight. And that's how it's happening. First marriage, second marriage, third marriage, fourth marriage. People keep getting searching for their life partner, and I had some after some time they don't find interest into getting married. अरे simply ऐसे ही रहेगा ना, क्या दिक्कत है? है ना, ऐसा होता है. And this is causing degradation of the society again. Womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in a sex. अरे manliness will be proved into the battlefield. अरे कितनी ताकत है तुम्हारे में? अरे ये क्या है? And Brahmana will be judged based on उपवीत पहना है क्या? हाँ, इस ब्राह्मण आ गए, give दक्षिणा. That's all. And Brahmana means he should have the Brahmanical qualities. Somebody calls himself as a Brahmana, that means he should have the Brahmanical qualities, not simply wearing 25 paisa thread. I had a friend in my college days. He was a Kokanastha Brahmana. And I used to ask him, अरे भाई कोकणस्थ ब्राह्मण है? हाँ, हम कोकणस्थ ब्राह्मण है, हम नॉनवेज नहीं खाते, केवल मछली छोड़ के कुछ नहीं खाते हम लोग. So you can't call it as a Brahmana, no. So, and he sometimes used to booze also. And father's money. When father said money, okay, let's go. आज दक्षिणा मिली है, थोड़ा पी के आएंगे. So you can't call it as a Brahmana. Brahmana means he should have Brahmanical qualities, Satya, Shaucha, and study of Shastras. That is the Brahmanical qualities. Pathan Pathan. Those are important qualities. अरे बुद्धू आदमी है. and आजकल क्या होता है पता है क्या? In Brahmanical culture, in Brahmanical families, whoever is the intelligent boy in the Brahmanical family, they will send him to USA. And who is a dull boy, okay, you बैठ के पूजा कर. That was not like that. Whoever is intelligent, he will do puja part and study of Vedas. And who is a dull, he will be sent out, अरे तुम जा job कर. That was the culture. Now it is completely opposite. Brahmanas also, they have lost the understanding of right. Of course, it talks about Vedas talks about what's coming in the future. It talks about who is the coming avatara here, Kalki avatara. It mentions what is the next avatara coming up and when avatara is coming and where. So this shloka text talks about it in a Bhagavatam. Shambhala grama mukhasya. Somebody can read a translation of this? Yeah.
Lord Kalki will appear in the home of the most eminent Brahmana of Samprava village. A great son.
Loudly.
Lord Kalki will appear in the home of the most eminent Brahmana of Sambha village, the great soul Vishnu.
So Lord Kalki will appear. Where he will appear? In Sambhal village. And where is this village? People have found out. It's somewhere in UP, somewhere it is there. Some people say it is in Nepal also. So that is the place where Lord Kalki will come. And where he will come? He will come into the home of the Brahmana called Vishnu Yash. This is already mentioned there. In his house, Lord Kalki will appear. So Lord Vedas gives all these proofs. Okay, anybody cannot come and tell I am a Kalki avatar. So there are so many in the today's world, they call themselves Kalki. But they are not actually. Look, somebody is the avatar, we have to find it from the Vedas. Avatar is not simply anybody can come, Prabhuji, yeah, I am Subandhu. Today onwards, I am a god. आजा ना इधर. And sir, Lakshmi जरा इसको दे देना, जो भी है ना. So this is abstract avatars have come up now, but they have to prove with their qualities. They have to prove from the reference of Shastras. Is the avatar mentioned like this? Is your appearance is mentioned like this? Is your avatar is mentioned like a Chanakya and other like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's avatar mentioned there like that? Is it mentioned? All avatars, where and when it will come, is mentioned in the Vedas, the Shastras. I have to prove like that. Then only we can consider as avatar. Otherwise, we don't believe people to be avatar. They have to be proved on that. So, Vedic scriptures, many times we say, they don't need proof. They are axiomatic truth. With our experience, we can understand them We can, with our experience, we can understand they are right or wrong. For example, can you explain me taste of gulab jam? Anybody can define gulab jam? Okay, define. But what is the taste of gulab? She's okay. Okay, explain the taste of gulab jam. Huh? Sweet. What about jalebi? It's also sweet, no? What is the specific about gulab jam? Anybody can say, explain the gulab jam taste? Yeah, very sweet. Jaggery also is very sweet. What is the difference between jaggery and gulab jam then?
Soft and spongy.
That is the texture of it. Taste I am asking. Taste of gulab jam. Anybody can explain the taste of gulab jam? Yeah, Prabhuji is trying to do this.
Gulab jamun has the flavor of this kova, whereas jalebi will be something like curd. It's
okay. You are explaining that there is a taste of खोआ है ना. But what about gulab jam? Then actually gulab jam कैसा है? Simply खोआ. There is a difference between खोआ and gulab jam, isn't it?
Gulab jam.
Gulab jam में गुलाब किधर आता है भाई? Okay, to explain the gulab jam.
It's actually not tasted, but acquires the taste of the syrup.
Okay, so it's a syrup. If you taste the syrup, is it exactly like gulab jam taste?
No.
Something else, right? The taste of syrup is different. Okay, all of you are failing. Why you are failing? How to understand taste of gulab? Are you just saying something?
Gulab jamun is tasty, but you have to feel it.
Yes.
That you can't explain.
Yes, you have to just pop a gulab jam in their mouth and just experience it. है ना? So Vedic truths are like that. They cannot be explained, but they can be experienced. Just eat the gulab jam and understand the taste of gulab jam. Cannot be explained. You can say, Prabhuji, आप मुझे भगवान बताओ क्या है? Hey, there is not something explained. You can understand and realize it. The Vedic truths are like that. You have to realize it. You have to understand with your own experience. Pratyaksha gavamam dharmyam. Like that. That's how it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram idam uttamam, Pratyaksha gavamam dharmyam, susukham kartum avyayam.
The knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed.
So important line here is, it gives direct perception of self by realization. So knowledge is acquired by realization. So this is the Vedic knowledge. So why? Then question comes, why we should have a blind faith in the Vedas? है ना? अरे पूछना नहीं है, बाबा वाक्यम प्रमाणम, बाबा ने बोल दिया मतलब सही है, ऐसा है क्या? ना? Is it like a blind faith in Vedas? Don't live in the life with a blind faith? Faith is something which we put without verifying it, right? Faith, faith is like that. We live our life on faith. See the example. एक आदमी आपके गले पे छुरी लगा के बैठा है, and you are happily sleeping there, and sometimes snoring also. Then he said, "Wake up, sir, हो गया." होता है ना? So one person is having a knife at your neck and you are relaxed. How can you? Sometimes somebody with imagine a scenario where people are waiting with a knife and putting mask. Will you be comfortable in the situation? But you are, when they are doctors. They are with the knives, putting mask, everything, and you are relaxed, sleeping in the chair, and they say, okay, do whatever you like. Why we do that? We have faith. We have faith in this person who is holding knife at our neck. We have faith on those people who are holding knife and doing our surgery. We have faith on the pilot that he will not drop us on the WTO. We have faith on that person. Yes, this person is authentic and licensed pilot. by agencies, you know. So we have, of course, we have seen this. We have faith that next meal is coming in front of us. Hotel में जाते हैं ना हम लोग. We go to the hotel, order something, our favorite dish, and we don't check out what is it doing in the backyard, you know, in the backside, in the kitchen. Of course, you will not have entry there. वहाँ पे no entry का board लिखा रहता है. And we don't doubt also कि अंदर में क्या चल रहा है. We just ask, oh, bring this sweet, bring this dish, bring that dish. We put an order after, and we just simply, without any hesitation, keep on devouring all this. And we have faith that this person would not have added something wrong into this food. Sometimes it was there, you know, in street foods, ऐसा कुछ होता है वहाँ पे. But yes, in the hotels and all this, we have faith that these people are trusted. But where is the science here? Does science works on faith? And I will tell the story of my grandmother. My grandmother is illiterate, you know, and when she sees me wearing saffron, all these things, doing japa and all these things, and she says, "अरे बेटा, ये क्या कर रहा है? आदमी तो चांद पे चला गया. साइंटिस्ट ने इतना प्रगति कर लिया." She is illiterate. She doesn't know anything of the science, but she believes that scientists have gone on moon. Is it faith? Is it blind faith? Huh? Is it not blind faith? She doesn't understand anything. You don't understand what is what is the equations that Einstein has written on the board. Can you understand? No. But still we believe that whatever scientist has proved that E is equal to MC square is correct only. Has anybody gone through the proof for this equation? Anybody is there? Please raise your hand. I would like to. There are so many scientists. You have gone through this proofs. Understood? Didn't understood?
No, I didn't understand.
See? But still you believe it is correct? Yeah. Isn't it blind?
Yeah.
It is blind faith. We just accept it. You know? We have to be scientific. You know, even science, we keep a blind faith. Why not in the Vedas? On the science we have blind faith. Whatever they say is correct only. Then why can't we have the faith on the Vedas? You know, Vedic proofs are not like that. You can say keep a blind faith. Use science to prove them. We understood. Of course, cow dung has antiseptic properties, and science has proved it. So use the science to prove Vedic theorems correct. Use the science. Science is not ultimate. Vedas are ultimate. They are unchanging. But you can use the science to prove the Vedic things. What do you mean by being scientific? In the scientific experiment, we have aim, apparatus, procedure, observation, and conclusion. You know? In this world also, we are doing the same thing. The aim is to understand Bhagavad Gita, whether it works. You know? An apparatus is Bhagavad Gita. Procedures, read, implement the principle of Bhagavad Gita in our life. An observation, observe yourself, experience it, and understand, and come to the conclusion. Yes, Bhagavad Gita works, is real. You know? You know? Okay. So even we have to be scientific, but not blind follower. Okay? Hare Krishna. And thus we are concluding today's session. Yes, any questions? Okay. So many questions I asked. Now it's time for you to ask questions.
When Kalki Avtar will appear, Guruji?
It is mentioned at the end of Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga will end after 4 lakhs years.
How many years have already passed in Kali Yuga?
5,000. Just 5,000. When Krishna finished his Leela, that time Kali Yuga started. You can say that is the starting point of it.
Prabhuji, when Kali Yuga comes, the avatar, whatever you have shown, it's shown as a sword, he is coming in a horse and sword.
Yeah, it is explained like that.
Nowadays, these evolutions are different now. So, what will be the...
See, Kali Yuga, as Vedas explained, as Kali Yuga grows and grows, our intelligence also will become duller and duller and duller. You see now, your smartphone is smarter than you. Isn't it? Smartphone is becoming more smarter, artificial intelligence, everything is coming up. And we are so addicted to it that we are not using our brain. So we are becoming that one day it will come, everything will crash and we'll start using all these things. And of course it is mentioned that Kia, human life will be reduced. Now we are living at 60. Actually standard age for Kali Yuga is 100 years. But it's come to the 60. But time will come, humans will live max to max 20 years. There's somebody even at the end of Kali Yuga will see this situation. There will be dwarfs, small people. And 20 years means a century ho gaya. And in the 20 years itself it will finish. Everything will get over for him. Like getting older and having kids, everything. Symptoms are there, but it's not prominent so much actually.
So what Prabhuji is saying is food's also the same thing is happening.
Food, yeah. So we are becoming dull.
Prabhuji, my question is, so where we have gone wrong in this teaching, correct? So we could have done it better, at least from India side, we know what is our culture and all this, correct? But we are not actually teaching these things. Now, at least by coming to this session, we know that, okay, these are the teachings, we should have this, correct? But whatever we study, we don't have even a small part of it in our studies. So, once again, how we could have preserved our culture and how we could have done better.
देर आए दुरुस्त आए, कल के बुद्धू घर लौटाए, बोलते हैं ना. In Hindi it is worse, kind of better late than never. So at least we have come to understanding that yes, our culture, our education, our Vedic knowledge, Vedic science is perfect. So we have to make our efforts to revive that again.
Prabhuji, in related things, right? It's too much. The Rig Vedas and 4 Vedas are there, then Upanishads are there, Puranas are there, Samya are there. So for our level, can you suggest some important things that we must know?
Yeah, of course. At least instead of coming out all these things, of course there is a matter of research to bring it out everything in a proper way. But yes, the right need of the moment is to make our life the best. अभी तो 30-50 साल तो हो गए हमारे लाइफ के. Very little time is remaining. Again to study Vedas and all these things will take time, but at least we can understand the essence of it, live a life better way, and pass on this understanding, pass on this culture to the next generation.
Namaste, Guruji. What we understand that because of our senses, we can't mantra chanting. After doing that, we can see better. All the senses will give correct response. So that's what we understood. Because after doing any meditation, closing your eyes for 15 minutes, or doing any japa or mantra chanting, or any prayer, or focusing on something, then definitely we can then slowly if we open eyes, I won't use spell.
Yes.
We can open, but remove this. But inside there is a.
It happens.
You can say there is a third eye.
How it works, I will tell you. It works through realization. It works through realization. It doesn't work, of course meditation and yoga process and all these things, they will give you the healthy body, and through that you can experience some improved senses and all of the specs chale jate hain and all these things works. It's good, but not at the perfect level. Whatever limitations I have mentioned, they will not be overcome because that is a limitation for humankind.
Yeah.
By meditation you cannot see through the wall. It's not possible. So we have the limitation. That will not be surpassed. But whatever limitations we have got, they can reach our optimum level. Okay? That's all. But still, the process works. Why? Because it's not depends on the efficiency of our senses, but the knowledge imparted in the heart. Okay?
Correct.
So it's not depend on even if somebody is blind, he also can see. It's not just by he is able to see it. He's understanding, he's realizing it.
Correct. Even the person having eyes can't see it. The blind person can
realize.
understand.
He can realize that.
Correct.
So it works from within, not from outside. we see rays come to our eyes, we understand it goes and the signals converted into the picture, and picture is perceived in the brain, and we understand it. So the process is ulta. The knowledge comes to the heart, and from the it comes, not through the eyes and all these things. So even if he is blind, it happens. And many people have experienced this.
Yeah, because of all this yoga, meditation, all these things will purify our breath, so that we'll understand better, that clarity comes.
It works.
So thoughts will be reduced, and
so that's why I mentioned, right? Pratyaksha Gavamam Dharmyam. So it comes through realization.
Yes,
You want to experience this? We'll have practical session of this process of meditation. See? One question, Shidal Mataji, are you good?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, what is the best way to gain self-realization?
Best way to gain self-realization is to follow the authentic path, which is given by the authentic Guru. And for us, it is the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and through that we can go through the perfection. We can realize those things. So Mahamantra is the one which gives you perfect knowledge. It can impart everything. Even if we are dumbest of the dumbest, we can't understand Vedas and all these things. But still, the chanting can impart that supreme knowledge to us. Without any consideration of how intelligent you are, how smart you are, it doesn't work. And a small child can realize this. If somebody follows this process very, very sincerely. Mataji is asking. So working.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, all people born in Kali Yuga are not blessed.
Why you think so?
Every day we undergo so much of pain, suffering, so many disasters. Because in Dwapar Yuga and Treta Yuga, people used to have peaceful, they used to have peace of mind. They were very happy.
Yeah.
Why people in Kali Yuga are suffering so much?
Okay. The Kali Yuga is destined for this kind of environment. Prabhuji, he is living. You can give some prasadam to him. Mataji can take care of it. One devotee went off, so give some prasadam. Okay. So the question is, why Kali Yuga is so unfortunate? So, we can say, why do people in jail are so unfortunate? Because they have done such kind of a karma, they are brought into the jail. So we are such a kind of people, our karmas are like that, so we are all concentrated here in Kali Yuga to suffer kind of this thing. So we are like that. So this environment is specially awarded to us. But don't think that we are unfortunate. We are fortunate because the process for realization is made very, very simple for us. This says, Kaler doshe nidhe rajan asti eko mahadguna. Kali Yuga is full of faults. We have seen these two shlokas. Just we saw two shlokas and we saw Kali Yuga is so wretched. But still, it has one best quality. Kirtanad eva Krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. Just by chanting Hare Krishna, you can get the best result. Previous ages, people used to sit for the tapasya for many, many thousands of years and they will get realization. Here, it is simplified. Just chant Hare Krishna properly, you can get realized. You can finish that whole process of tapasya in a short time.
Prabhuji, and Vyasadeva told that Kali Yuga is actually the best age. I don't know, not sure. I heard the story like that two Brahmanas were fighting, thinking which Yuga is actually the best Yuga. And then they approached Vyasadeva and he was taking dip in...
yeah, that's the story there.
Yeah.
The Kali Yuga is the best because the process of realization is simplified. Yeah. And all, many sins which were considered to be sins into previous ages, they are not, okay, ठीक है, common है करके छोड़ दिया गया. And for example, the sins which are done by Kaya, Vacha and Mana, Among them only the sins which are practically done, they are taken account, but the sins which are done by the verbal and the contemplation, the sins that are not considered. Otherwise, previous ages, if you think about sin, khata ho gaya, khul gaya apka. It used to happen like that. Right now, of course, Kali Yuga is very, very blessed only because of these things. And so, in a short way, in a shortcut way, you can get realized and come out of it. Otherwise, many years tapasya.
Prabhuji, and there's like a word told by Prabhupada. He says that when winter comes, we can't blame the winter that we catch cold. We have to wear the sweater and all that. Similarly, just because Kali Yuga came, we can't say we're suffering. The Vedas mentioned the remedy for that, that is holy name. So if you take the shelter of holy name, you won't live a miserable life.
True, Prabhuji. ठीक है माता जी? Give mic to माता जी.
Here I have read somewhere that the next birth is determined by what we desire plus the karma. Means the desire part is important. So can you elaborate on that? My concepts are not clear.
Yeah, last week we discussed about it.
Oh, you did. I will ask.
No problem. So yeah, Bhagavad Gita mentions about it. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejan tente kalevaram. So whatever you think, while leaving this body, so that kind of consciousness, that kind of, depend on that consciousness, your next body is getting ready. Plus your karmas. Karmas also will decide what kind of body you are going to get it. So it's like, of course we have thought of whatever question comes in now, while dying we can just simply think of something good. It doesn't happen. So we have to work hard for those kind of memories, those kind of consciousness to come when we are leaving the body. Then only that things will come. Otherwise, suddenly some difficulty come, we forget everything, we start cursing. That means our consciousness is not purified like that. Our karma has to be like that. Our actions. That's why we have the sadhana. Right? We chant Hare Krishna Mantra nicely. We read scriptures. We keep our consciousness pure. Why? So that at the time of death, those pure thoughts will come and will take another best body, or maybe not take the birth again. So our actions determines what kind of body, and actions determines what kind of consciousness you will be there while leaving the body. This is a practice kind of thing. To play certain kind of shots, searching time, because also practice a lot, right? In the net, you have to do that. And I'm like, I remember this story of Olanga. Olanga bowled him on a short pitch, and Sachin was so frustrated. 3 days you are practicing. Like that we have to practice. Never to take birth again. Sachin was practicing only for 3 days. We have to practice for lifetime. Till the time we get rid of this body, we get rid of this material world again. We have to be that serious. Okay. The sadhana is important. Okay. Yeah, please distribute malas.
Guruji?
Yeah. Yes, one question is coming. Where it is?
Guruji?
Yes, Mataji.
पहले इतना लोग नहीं